Good morning and Jai Hind students. This is Vivek and I welcome you all once again in this class. Children, in today's class, we shall discuss the question of mock test you took last day, and some of the students articulated for having discussion on some of the questions. So we shall do for the first and then resume to the revisional discussion for half yearly examinations. Okay, so let us see what do we have. Here this is a multiple choice question that you were given, and were only 10 questions. The first was, who is the writer of The Happy Prince? This was the question. The correct answer is Oscar Wilde. Okay. The second is, why was the happy why was the prince called happy? So here this is the key word. So because he never cried, this is right. Because he was very lucky, that definitely he was lucky because he was born in such a family where he was having silver spoon in his mouth, so you will call such a person a lucky one. Next is, because he had everything. Very true, since he was born in a palace and he was a prince, so he was having everything. Because he always smiled and was living in a palace, so it is also right, children. Let me put it on silent mode. Yes, here it is. So, because he always smiled and was living in a palace, here this is appearing the most appropriate. In the story, if you remember, it was said that he never cried, and it is written that he always smiled and was living in a palace of happiness. Means his entire world was of happiness. Means there was nothing which you may consider reason of her cry or suffering. Everything around him was matter of happiness. Okay, so fourth option is the most appealing option here. Let us see the next question. What does the story of In the Kingdom of Fools speak about? Kings? Yes. No, there were not kings, there was one king. So it is not talking about many kings. So first option is wrong because it is kings. Kings and their ministers. Yes, king, there was a king and there were ministers, but kings were not there. Okay. A kingdom ruled by a foolish king. Yes. And his silly minister. Yes, it is appealing. So here C option is the most appropriate one. Next is, what kind of story is In the Kingdom of Fools? As we discussed in the previous class, it is a folk tale because you are getting a message and it is narrated. And it happens that when you narrate the story and it passes from one generation to another, it is called folk tale, and it gives a message in the story to the society. So this story In the Kingdom of Fools has given us many messages. We just discussed in the previous class. Here, A option is the most appropriate one. What was the price that grandfather paid to buy the monkey in the adventures of Toto? We discussed this as well, and the price was 5 rupees. 6. To which world does the story The Fun They Had take the readers to? To future world? No. Past world? Correct. Present world? Wrong. Future world where computers will play a major role? This is also correct. Here past is not correct option, because the story is from, if we see from the current time, you will see that the story was from 2157, so it is future. And as I was considering this, it is B option is wrong. A option can also be correct, but here D option is describing something more about the authenticity of the story and appealing to the question. Here the question is, to which world does the story the fun they had take the readers to? So here future world is also correct, but here it is D option is describing and giving clear aspect of the answer to the question. So D option will be here the most appropriate one. We shall go with this. Okay, future world where computers will play a major role. So this is here the writer would have written with some context, but that the context he would be having in his mind that in future the computers will play major role was very true. It's fantastic elucidation of future, but he had never known that corona will come one day or someday, and the world he was thinking about would appear in 2020. That was perhaps not thought ever by anybody or the writer. That is why he had marked 2157, about 137 years ahead. And the day he is talking about in the story has come today, very early. See how fast the time is passing, and things are changing, children. So you must work to sustain in such a society where time is passing quickly, so quickly that even when you nap your eyes, means I cannot say, but decades trespasses. Okay, means passes. Okay, let us see the next question. Where did Kalam talk about his childhood? In his autobiography Wings of Fire, it is correct. In first speech, no. Research papers, no. The first option is correct, children. You remember that this is a book, Wings of Fire, which is written by Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was our former president. So he had written his autobiography in this book, and there were many stories chosen from there. It is very nice book. You should also purchase and read Wings of Fire. Next is, where was Kalam born? So Rameshwaram, Madras State, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. This Rameshwaram word is very important, and he was born there. Currently, its name is Tamil Nadu, but here this option can also be correct. But here, since Rameshwaram is given, so it is specifying. So we shall go with the specific answer. If two or three options are given, where first or second is also appearing correct and the third one is also correct, so they are never be confused. Go through the most nearest option, go to the option which is nearest to the answer. Okay, so here we shall go with the first option. Next is, from where uh, has this chapter My Childhood been taken? So the same question as you have read the question number 7. So here it was about his childhood. See, and this is here about the chapter My Childhood is taken. Okay, so the same question is asked in different ways. It happens in examinations, means you will see the questions repeatedly but in different way. So this is just to confuse and check your attention. Okay, and you would be able to answer the correct one easily. So here again this question is about my childhood, where it is taken from. So from memories, yes, definitely if it is from, but from memories. And let us see other options. From Professor APJ Abdul Kalam's book Wings of Fire, from famous writer Kushwant Singh. This is absolutely wrong. None of these, because we are having this option number B. This story is taken from the famous autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam, and it's named Wings of Fire. And the last question is, who broke the doors of the window in Wind poem? Children, boy, a naughty boy, wind. Definitely wind. We have also revised this poem Wind? You can also go through these answers. Okay, now children, we shall go through Vignette of the next, and it is the Legend of Northland. As I told you in the previous class that this poem is left and we shall be discussing in the next class. So today here you are with this poem. It is titled Legend of the Northland, and the poet is here before you, Forbes Carey. Forbes Carey. So Forbes Carey was an American poetess. She was poetess. Okay, and the most important thing about Forbes Carey is that she was largely self-educated woman. This is the most important thing. She was largely self-educated, means she had never gone to any school. As you visit schools, you go to school and study there, you get teachers there to teach you, to discuss the things. You see other people and then imbibe the same qualities, perhaps the right or good qualities. You learn different things from different disciplines. You come to know society from razor close mode in association with other teachers and students. So there you have better understanding. Okay, in no time, means soon. But here she was such a lady who was largely self-educated. She had occasionally attended the schools. Such a lady she was. And the theme of her poem is, the poem describes that a selfish person has no satisfaction in life. This has been a matter of moral science in the text. Nobody care about it. And this is the problem that you are looking, the mess in the society. Children, the thing we call petty or we ignore, we think that it is of no importance, consider it, hey, has greater importance than the thing we can give importance very much. Because the little things make the things great or significant. Means the basic things, the fundamental things comes first for any of the principle. If you are studying the theories of any science or physics, so for the first, your fundamentals must be clear. In the same way, if you want to be a good citizen in the society, your basic education should be strong and correct. So here, this is all about our basic education, which is at stake, means in danger. Because today, in the name of progress, we think that we should do any possible thing that may cost our family, that may cost nature, that may cost society, that may cost humanity, that may cost any other thing, our moral sciences that we study in the schools, just to progress. But we must keep in our mind that the petty things like etiquettes, satisfaction, kindness, sincerity, punctuality, so all these things make the base of any big castle or success. Okay, so take care of these things. I should not go quite intensively in this because we are here to revise the poem, and the poem is a form of ballad. Okay, ballad is a kind of poem where you sing the things and give messages. Okay, and its poetic devices are rhyming scheme A B C B. Okay, some of the things are already highlighted here. figure of speech is alliteration, repetition, smart, simile, and enjambment. These things I think you know very well. We have discussed in the previous class. Enjambment is a new figure of speech, poetic device for you. Or you can call it a figure of speech, and it means where stanzas are not in any proper order or where there is no punctuation. Just understand simply where there is no punctuation, so it is called enjambment. Okay. And further, the summary is given that there was an old lady and she was living at isolated place where it was extremely cold, and she was having stove, a hearth, and she was baking cakes. One day, a saint, Peter, his name was Peter, saint came to him and he requested, begged for food, and she refused to give him. But when he requested repeatedly, she gave him a bread. But when she was giving it, when she was mm, offering him the cake, she was thinking that she is offering very much. So she made bread with a small dough, tiny dough जो आटे का आप गुल्ला लेते हैं and you then roll it, so it is a dough. Okay. She took a small dough and then thought that I will make a small piece of bread and then give him. It shows that she was a selfish lady. She was greedy and she did not want to part anything away. Part anything away means to give anything to other people, because she was not having that much kindness who would be able to part a piece of bread to anybody. तो उसने क्या किया, what she did, she made a small bread. And you know, when breads are baked, जब पकाते हैं, it swells. So the lady who had taken a small dough, when it was rolled and baked, it swelled, and again it appeared her that it is a big one. So she, for the third time, she took another dough, very tiny dough, like a scrap, bacha kucha piece. है ना? And then she rolled it and make a bread like a wafer you would have eaten. Okay, very hard, crunchy. So she made it and offered this to Saint Peter, and he was very angry on this, and he cursed him, shrap diya, that you will become a woodpecker. Okay, here plumage, red plumage is something which is up on the head of woodpecker, and this is the thing. Message is here. The poem conveys the message that we should not be greedy or should help others in need. There are many other things that you will find in the poem yourself. The PDFs will be given to you. You would also be having this PDF on uh, the poem, so the summary can be revised once again by you. Children, now we shall see this, the Happy Prince. Okay, that the question we were discussing about here. This Happy Prince is really an interesting story, and it is all about kind and humanity. How big heart do you have? But I do not mean to say that you should have such a heart that you should give away everything to people. Okay, it's not like that. Since if somebody has come to your house, it should also not happen that ki bina papa mummy se puche and you gave the things to people, and that is also bad. That is also nonsense, in fact, I will say. You first of all, you should ask your parents. Okay, that's the thing. And in the last poem, just now that I discussed, the legend of Northland, there the message is that help the people in need. Okay, those who are not in need, there you should not waste your time. Okay, next is, means they, if you are having time, read, know something good, have time with your parents. Okay, and help them. Okay, if you are having time. So here the thing is that the story is written by Oscar Wilde. This comes in examination. It was also a question in your mock test that you took recently, means a day before. and he was a novelist. He was from Ireland. This may also come in examination, where from which country he was or where he was from. A novelist, essayist, this may come, children. Okay. Next is theme. The first theme means there are many themes. The first theme of the story is that outer beauty is nothing. Okay. It is just a show, and the real beauties are love and sacrifice. So I should not underline everything here. This is the most important thing. Okay, the real beauty is love and sacrifice. So if you love anybody, if you sacrifice anybody, this is the real beauty. Okay, this is the real love. This is the real thing, which work as a saving force. And these two qualities are in the parents. If you see, these two qualities are in the parents. And the other is that there is great gap between rich and poor. That's common, you would have read in civics or political science or any other social science subject. So there you would have read the rulers and the masses means people, many people, so they are called masses. Next is there are many characters like little prince, swallow, and a poor tailor. Tailoress, it should be tailoress, not tailor. Okay. Her child and a little girl, a writer, mayor in his and his consul and other consulars and others. The summary is that saying that there was a happy prince, and it was put there on a statue. And happy prince's desire is there that he wanted to help people in need, those who were poor. A swallow came one day who was going to Egypt, but Happy Prince requested to befriend him and help him in helping other people. So the swallow made his stay for one night, but Happy Prince requested repeatedly, and he waited there for another night, unwillingly, involuntarily. But finally, Happy Prince was such a kind hearted that Swallow moved by heart and thought that Happy Prince is now a blind one, so I should stay here to help him. So, friendship of Happy Prince and the Swallow grew when Swallow helped the poor people in need. Swallow was a messenger. He was working there as messenger, okay, helping Happy Prince. Swallow is a kind of bird, a bird which was helping the Happy Prince. Two precious things. There are two precious things. Uh, that is the dead body of the swallow when it died at the end of the story, and the heart of the Happy Prince, which was made up of lead, was broken when he saw that my friend is no more. Next is absurdity, means foolishness of the mayor and the counselor, because when Happy Prince was not decorative or appealing or very beautiful, so it was ordered that it should be demolished. So statue of Happy Prince was demolished because all the paint, gold paint on him was ripped off by the order of Happy Prince himself, and it was done by Swallow to help poor people. And all the sapphires of the eyes and rubies on the hilt or handle of the sword was taken away and given to the people. And selfishness, pseudo beliefs means fake beliefs. Pseudo means fake beliefs and ignorance of mankind. It is shown in the story how selfish people are. The story conveys the message that happiness does not come from worldly possessions. Means if you are having a lot of money, a lot of wealth, it doesn't mean that you will remain happy. It cannot let you retain happy. Okay, but but from helping others. So this is the thing that may let you happy forever. Now, children, we shall go for further questions. Let us see quickly what sort of questions are here. What message does this poem convey? Definitely, it is about greedy. Okay, does not help the poor. Did not help the poor. Yes, the lady did not help the poor. Did not. Sorry, don't be here. It is don't. Okay, if I spelled something else, please take it. as don't be greedy and help the poor and hungry people. So here this is the most appropriate, because here greedy option is coming in the third option. Poor, this is also coming here in the third option. Both option A and option B are inclusive in the third option. So you cannot say all. The D option cannot be correct, because A option, B option and C option are the same, and A and B are included in C. A is nothing other than the words given in C. B is nothing other than words given in C. So here you cannot say all, because A and B are not different. The same things are combined in C option. So this will be the right option. Next is, what made Saint Peter angry with the woman? You know very well, her cakes. It was very small. She made a thin cake for him. It is right. Her greedy actions. She was making the cake again and again and trying to make a small. So all. Here you can say all, because all three options are different. Okay. Next is, children, which bird did the Saint Peter's Peter curse change the woman into? So Saint Peter had cursed her and she was turned into woodpecker. Okay, because woodpecker are birds which hit the hard outer portions of tree and try to find out the insect as their food. So they get scenty food, very little food, after working a lot. Next is, which literary device has been used in this poem? So you have read the alliteration here. Alliteration was there in the poem. Next is, why did the poet use alliteration in this poem? To add pun in to it, to give a rhyming scheme, to make it lyrical. No, to make it lyrical. Okay, you may check it once again in the answer key. Okay, this may be something else, but you must check it, children. Next is, quote examples of alliteration used in the poem. What are the examples? Tell the tale to you. So T is repeated first, second and third. So this can be the right option. Okay. And here faint was fasting. FF. This again FF sound is repeated. Okay. Cakes that seems too small. So seems small. You will have to see this option. Okay, children. Sixth. Do it something at least on your own. Okay, okay. And next is seventh. Why? Actually, I will provide you the answers. That is why I'm saying that do something on your own. Go through the answers. That's only you need to do. That's only okay. Why the words like away, boring, and rolled have been repeated? So it make it lyrical, to enhance that their impact, to add rhythm. All. So here I think that lyrical, if you make the words repeated, it makes rhyming okay lyrical, and to enhance their impact. So here I do not find that any impact was enhanced by the, but in the context of poem it may happen. You should also see this questions number 7 and 6. These two are your special work today. Okay, which can be the correct one, because I should not go for uh, rhythm or lyrical only, because D may also be, if B option is considered in any way. If you go through the poem for this, to answer this question number 7 and question number 6, you have to go through the poem. If you will not go through the poem, these 10 jars, you will not be able to answer these questions. Okay, next is, what is the rhyming scheme of the poem? So here rhyming scheme, you have read that the rhyming scheme of the poem is A B uh, is Four line or five line? I'm missing. Again, I told you that you have to see the stanza of the poem to answer these things. You know how to find rhyming scheme. We have discussed. So if you will see the poem, open the textbook when you are going through these questions. There only you are able to answer these questions. Otherwise, you will not be able to answer these questions. Here, I'm not having the text even with me, so I should not suggest you any of the things because I do not remember about the rhyming scheme of this poem here. But I have given you all these things in these answers. You can see later. It is your homework. I must not show you now. Next is children. When do people go for sledging in summer? Sledging means when you do skating on the ice. Summer, no, in summer there is no ice. During vacations you can. When snow falls, yes, this is the most appropriate. If there is no snowfall, you cannot go for sledging, you, because vacations are also there in summers, and in summers there is no snowfall. So here the clearly answer is given, snowfall is, so you will go for this. And next is, where did the story is of this poem occur? So here this story is from Scotland. Okay, as far as no, Northland, Northland, because the title of the story is A Legend of the Northland. So it is very much clear. Okay, how confusing the things are. Okay, children. So that's all in today's class, children. We have discussed these things, and next to this is the Happy Prince, the questions of Happy Prince, which we shall discuss in next class, and discuss further vignettes from Beehive. So the chapters which we have not discussed in Beehive are the third and fifth, because fourth chapter is no more in the syllabus. But the poem given in the fourth chapter should be there in the syllabus. You will have to see it. We shall be discussing vignette of the third chapter. And mind it, if the third, if I'm wrong, and the third is Ishwaran the storyteller, it is no more in the syllabus. Please take care of it. But the chapters which are left in Beehive are A Truly Beautiful Mind and My Childhood. These two chapters are left in Beehive. So we shall be discussing vignettes of that, and further we shall be discussing the questions and answers in the same way. I will upload these uh, MCQs on the school application, and you can go through it and check the answers and do something which I did not tell you on your own. Okay, so that's all in today's class. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.